Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Keeping Up with the GSD'ers. Today, I'm here to interview Sofia BC, Alex, and Lucas. Getting us started is Sofia. So, my first question for you is, why are you interested in your research topic, and what brought you to this research topic?
Well, Maddie, from a young age, I've always felt a deep desire to pursue a career that would allow me to make a meaningful difference in people's lives. Saying I want to be a doctor to help people might sound simple or even cliche, but for me, it's always been rooted in something a little more profound. As I grew older and began to learn more about the medical field, that initial spark evolved into a clear vision of what I wanted to achieve. Discovering the work of Doctors Without Borders solidified this vision and gave me a goal to aspire to. Their emphasis on compassion, adaptability, and advocacy mirrors the qualities I strive to embody both as a person and as a future physician. To me, being a part of Doctors Without Borders is more than a dream job. It's a purpose I hope to dedicate my career to fulfilling.
Wow, that is so amazing, Sofia. Okay, so what have you found so far in your research?
Through my research, I've discovered that Doctors Without Borders faces complex challenges in delivering healthcare in conflict zones and resource-limited settings. Regional politics and government restrictions often create barriers to access, requiring the organization to navigate delicate negotiations to remain operational. Additionally, the program's commitment to neutrality allows it to work in politically sensitive environments, but it also limits the ability to openly advocate against certain regimes or policies. I've also learned that the program's extensive collection of healthcare data contributes significantly to global health discussions, influencing policies on issues such as epidemic responses and healthcare equity. Despite these achievements, balancing immediate aid with sustainable long-term healthcare improvements in local communities remains a persistent challenge for Doctors Without Borders.
Wow, that's so fascinating. So, what kind of value can you add to our community by doing this project?
My research highlights the critical role of organizations like Doctors Without Borders and plays into addressing global healthcare disparities and responding to crises. By analyzing all of this research can inspire more effective approaches to humanitarian work in our own community. For instance, local healthcare workers might apply similar strategies to address healthcare issues in underserved populations, like my hometown Pueblo. Understanding how this program balances neutrality with advocacy can also guide our community initiatives into creating an inclusive and more equitable solutions to healthcare challenges. By adopting similar strategies, community programs can effectively address disparities in healthcare access while fostering collaboration among different groups and ensuring that solutions they implement are fair, sustainable, and tailored to the unique needs of all members of the community.
Wow, so what's your next step with this project?
Well, my next step is to just dive deeper into case studies that illustrate how this program operates in specific conflict zones. The Ebola epidemic in West Africa is one of my most interesting findings. This case highlights Doctors Without Borders' role in responding to a large-scale healthcare crisis. Their work during this period demonstrated the organization's ability to mobilize resources rapidly, provide life-saving care, and influence global policy on epidemic preparedness. Analyzing all of this and how they collaborated with local governments can offer insights into managing crises while upholding their principles. I can better understand their strategies and compromises to employ to achieve its goals. Additionally, I plan to explore the internal reports and publications to gain insights on how they utilize this data to contribute to global health policies.
Wow, thank you so much, Sofia, for meeting with me. Now, we're going to talk to our next expert on their topic. So, next up is Alex.
Hey, Maddie.
Hi, Alex. So, why are you interested in your research topic? What brought you to your research topic?
Well, as some of you who have lived in Colorado know, we had the Waldo Canyon fire. This happened about 12 years ago in 2012, and it burned nearly 18,000 acres of land. My community was on the very edge of that. We lost houses. I remember as a little kid rushing out of the house with my mom as the firefighters raced by as I saw the fire come down the mountain. And that's been a really big impact in my life. And I've worked nearly the last 12 years with the department as well as other organizations to really help rebuild the mountain and my community. But it's been really hard work. We've seen a lot of hardship on our bodies. We've worked a lot, and I've seen a lot of people go through a lot of things with this. What really kind of brought me to my topic was that I wanted to help these people later in life protect their bodies. I want to see them grow, but as well as help the community. And why not do that through some type of engineering? That's my passion. And I thought, how can I apply this in a way that helps others? And that's been through exoskeletons.
So what have you found out so far in your research?
Well, exoskeletons are a really great tool for helping people. They can help take stress off joints. They can help people lift more. They can help people do more with their bodies. But they have some problems. Exoskeletons, oftentimes, while they can take stress off a single joint, they often add it to another one with the current variations. And they struggle a little bit through cost, ease. It's really hard to distribute them to those who need it, as well as the fact that there is a learning curve to getting used to them. But there's been a lot of advancements. Places like the Stanford and the Harvard biomedical labs have done a lot of great research with warehouse workers, especially with implementing them, training individuals, as well as getting them out there. There's companies like German Bionic, which have issued them to the Dusseldorf fire department. They're utilizing a more passive approach, not active exoskeletons, but more like back braces. There's a lot of innovation within this field, but it still needs some work to really be utilized within a wider variety within the US.
Wow, that is so interesting. So you've mentioned our community some, but what kind of value can you add to our community by doing this project?
Well, really what this is about is help firefighters do more. In the heat of the action, lift a little more, run a little faster. If they can get maybe even 1-2% more out of themselves when they're going into that building on fire or that forest that's burning down, that can save lives. Anything we can do is to help the community and help people stay alive, essentially, in these high-risk situations. Now, long-term, the goal of this would be is help firefighters' bodies. The more we can limit the impact on their joints, on their back, the more they can do and also live their lives outside of this. This isn't everything, but we want to help them be more and do more with this.
Wow, so incredible. So what's your next step in this?
Well, next steps are relatively simple and break down very complicated. First of all, there's interviews. I'll be going to Fire Station 18 first and then making my way around Colorado to interview more firefighters in our local area about what their specific needs are. That way I can start to narrow down my project on what parts of the body I want to focus on. Then, obviously, we're going to move on to CAD designs, which is making models, mock-ups, prototypes, and then going back to those firefighters and saying, hey, I want to train with you. I want you to work with me on this, and getting their feedback. That will then go to some professors who can look at my projects, see what are some things I can improve on, ask about their research, their own experience with the topic. And finally, we'll go back to the firefighters for some more rigorous testing, as always.
Wow, that is so incredible. Thank you so much for speaking with us, Alex.
Thanks, Maddie.
So now we're going to talk to our next expert, Lucas. So, Lucas, why are you interested in your research topic and what brought you to research this?
Hi, thanks for asking, Maddie. So one day, as I was riding home from school, the idea of researching music therapy suddenly came to mind. Alex, who was with me at the time, actually, he witnessed the moment when I began to consider the idea. Music has always been more than just something else to do for me. It has served as a vital form of creative expression. Whether playing, composing, or simply immersing myself in the elaborate rhythms and harmonies our world has to offer, music offers a unique outlet for me where words often fall short. This personal connection to music, combined with its global significance, inspired me to explore music therapy as a topic of study. I am fascinated by music's ability to bridge cultural divides, foster healing, and provide solace, offering insights into both the human mind and the universal language of sound. Music therapy represents the perfect intersection of my passion for music and my desire to understand its profound effects and well-being on communities.
Wow, that is so interesting, Lucas. So what have you found out so far?
Yeah, so one of my most interesting findings from my research so far is that the concept of music varies greatly across cultures. You might say the idea that music is sound is common sense or universal, but you would be completely wrong. as many cultures do not identify music as only the sound we hear, as many Western cultures do. For example, the Kaluli people, the Kaluli of Papua New Guinea believe that human composers are reworking bird songs. The most important ceremonial song genre consists of 4 descending tones in imitation of the call of the Muni bird that can be heard as the voices of their deceased ancestors. Additionally, the Venda people of South Africa also do not have a specific word for music that separates it from dance or ritual. Historically, music has been deeply tied to spiritual, social, and communal context, serving as a medium for storytelling, ritual, and bonding. Something that was really interesting to discover is the academic research field called Statistical Universals in Music, which examines the supposedly universal musical identities across cultures, such as the repetition of phrases and distinct identities of musical ideas.
Wow, that's so interesting. So, what kind of value do you think you can add to our community with this project?
That's a great question, Maddie. During part of my second semester, I will offer music therapy sessions to the FBS community so I can support this community and further my research. I cannot fully appreciate and understand music therapy without actually doing it. So I will try some modern techniques and some thousands of years old with anyone that is willing. And together we can experience the wonders of music and its healing abilities. This is exciting for me, especially because the healing power of music can be seen as early as manuscripts in the Bible with cantillation markings, up until today where we can see a global integration of music and many statistical universals that make up the physical world.
Wow. So, what is your next step?
I plan to stay in contact with the African delegates who recently visited us at FES. I will talk to more music therapists and visit Black churches to experience gospel music. And this way I can continue to broaden my understanding of different musical and cultural contexts. Regarding my research, I am still learning and opening my eyes to various musical disciplines such as ethnomusicology, the psychology of music, forensic musicology, music history, and more. In this way, I can get a broader understanding of the music therapy lens before choosing and focusing in on my specific research topic. Overall, I thoroughly enjoy learning about music and the world, and I'm excited to see where my research will take me.
Wow, that is so interesting, Lucas. Thank you so much for talking with me today.
Thanks for having me.
So, before we end this, I have a few questions for all of our speakers today. So, these are just some fun questions so we can all get to know you better. First thing, if you were given the chance to explore the ocean or space, which one would you choose and why?
I would definitely explore the ocean just because I love swimming and I love all the little fishies.
I mean, I have to say, ocean is great, but space is where it's at. Just drifting off in the void, looking at all the beautiful stars, truly experiencing something that's out of this world.
I mean, I'm pretty interested in physics, and so I think it would be really interesting to research about space and just learn more about the limits of our universe.
So, if you could have any superpower, but it had to be kind of useless, what would it be?
Does Spider-Man count?
I think Spider-Man's kind of useful.
Dang it.
Useless. I guess I'd love muffins to pop up wherever I stepped.
A useless superpower, maybe just if I was able to swim on land, you know? If I just wanted to swim in the ocean, but I wanted to swim on land, you know? That would be pretty interesting.
That's really hard. I mean, I've said maybe walking underwater, like just go anywhere, but doesn't really help you that much.
Kind of a flip of Lucas and Alex there. Yeah. That's so interesting. So, last one. If you could be any mythical creature, what would you be and why?
I'd be a mermaid because I love swimming and they spend a lot of time in the water. And plus, you can breathe underwater.
I would be a Demogorgon because Stranger Things is an incredible show. You should watch it.
I mean, I have to say, I gotta go with the classic dragon. I want to just sit on my hoard all day and do nothing.
Wow, that's so much fun. So thank you everybody for speaking to me. And that is this episode of Keeping Up with the GSD'ers.